who, the Brazilian, drives for the same team as Lewis Hamilton. Right behind Jimenez is Mike Conway, the former championship leader, driving for Fortec Motorsport, desperate to start scoring well once again.
Yeah, Sisley there, I did him a bit of a disservice, said he made a bad start. In fact, he made a good start. He got past Jimenez off the line, not behind him. I misread his grid stop. Bit of a puff of dust there, could have been from Alex Lloyd. Alex Lloyd, a Manxman, comes through the Isle of Man, and that's what's being proudly displayed on the side of his car now. He is under pressure big time there from Tom Sisley, so maybe it was Lloyd who made a mistake at Sunny at that lap. He looks like Tom may well even line him up to have a go into the hairpin here.
But Lloyd defends it so resolutely down the inside, there's no real chance for Sisley, no space at all. But it is allowing everyone else to close up again.
Yeah, it's such close racing at this level. One-make formulas traditionally give us this kind of racing, and Formula Renault is no different. It's always been competitive, and even more so with the advent of a one-make series, which we've had since 2000 with these Tata chassis.
Yes, all the same chassis, and of course tuned very slightly differently by each team, aren't they? I mean, it's very easy to say, oh, they're all the same. It's purely down to the driver. But at this level, the tiniest little modifications or tweaks within what you're allowed is what makes the difference between a fast car and a not so fast car.
Very much so. I mean, you only have to make a very slight setup change, which gives you better grip on the latter part of the race, for example, as we've seen with the Clios as a one-make series, and that can make a big difference. The teams, usually it's the same sort of teams that are running at the front. We've seen Eurotech, we've seen Manor, we've seen Fortec, we've seen Motorworld. These are the guys that are traditionally up there scrapping for wins, and usually the drivers that go to those teams, good drivers that they are, they make the most of the opportunities because the teams get the best out of them.
There is a team's championship as well in this series. Before they came to Croft, before yesterday's race, Fortec were actually leading the points in the team's championship, but this team, Manor, Lewis Hamilton at the wheel here, they were second. Oh, and off the track, that's the number 38 car. That's O'Mahony that's gone. Omani, sorry, I should say. Running up Omani, who's gone off, and unfortunately, that's one of the Fortec cars. We were just talking about how they're leading the team's championship. Although, of course, it's Mike Conway and James Rossiter that have been scoring most of their points.
Yeah, and another spin there. That's car number 19.
That's Fulvio Mussi.
Yeah, he started fairly well back, so to be fair, it's probably not going to have a massive impact on his day. But yeah, Fortec have won the championship last year with Danny Watts. Danny won his first F3 race at Castle Combe recently, so they have a rich vein of form. They have Richard Dutton running the team there, and he has really taken these guys to another level, and they've really started to establish themselves as one of the top teams in the Formula, as Manor have done for many years.
Right there is Sergio Jimenez, then Mike Conway and Alex Storkenfeldt as well. Then not back, a big gap back to James Murphy and another of the Fortec machines. And then Paul Diresta running in 10th place, Stefan Soderberg 11th, Suzi Stoddart's running 12th, and then it's Fabian Coulthard in 13th.
Yeah, I think what's really impressing here now is that Hamilton is actually going quicker, albeit only slightly quicker, but quicker every single lap. And the last 2 laps, or 3 laps on the trot, he's actually set a new fastest lap, 20.347 on the last lap. And that is really showing a guy that's on top of his form. He's very consistent, he's not making mistakes, and he's really working the car to its best of its ability. So impressive stuff at the moment.
Just in that little gaggle there that we're watching, Sergio Jimenez, car number 4, looked as though he may be coming under a little bit more of an attack from Mike Conway. But for the moment, it's still Alex Lloyd who leads them down into the Clairvaux corner through Hawthorne. Mike Conway, Alex Storkenfeldt, James Murphy and Paul Diresta, a whole bunch of them basically all following Alex Lloyd here, and somebody is off, the number 19 car, I think, that's Fulvio Mussi again. We saw him have a spin earlier on. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. Looks like he overshot Clairvaux.
Yeah, very easily done, through the gravel, locked up all the way, and I don't quite work out why or where he stopped there, because it looked to me like it just went through the gravel, but maybe there was a reason why he went through the gravel. Perhaps he had a brake problem or suspension problem, and very wisely parked it up. We see again Lloyd under big pressure, Ben.
He is, yes. It's been unrelentless, basically, isn't it? Or relentless pressure from the others behind, which are led by Tom Sisley. It's so easy to make a mistake in this environment, and particularly in the middle there. You're trying to get ahead of the guy in front, but you've also got to keep an eye on the one behind making a places just in the blink of an eye, basically. So he's got to keep it under control there. You can see again the car a bit out of shape through the S-bend.
Yeah, and earlier on we saw Hamilton braking for the sunny corners. You could really see his car was so well hooked up through there. The back of the car wasn't hopping and sliding around like we've seen on some of the other contenders today. So obviously Lewis has got a car which is working brilliantly, and he is driving brilliantly to make the most of it. Lloyd, I don't think has got a bad car. Looking at the lap times, he's doing 21 dead, so they've actually all gone a bit quicker. 21.008, which is the same time as Spencer virtually. And it's only really Lewis Hamilton that's in the 20s at the moment. The rest of them are all 21s, and now Conway's just sneak one, having said that.
Yes, he has, that's right. There's Rossiter coming through second. There's our third place man, Mike Spencer.